This is Orange Nation Overtime with Steve Infanti and Paulie Scibilia.
Welcome into Orange Nation Overtime, everyone. Alongside Paulie Scibilia, I'm Steve Infanti. It's our final show of the week. We're going to take a long weekend for the 4th of July holiday. We started the show today talking soccer for once. Might be a first on our show that we opened talking soccer. You and I both watched USA last night, and it was a great game by the Americans. They dominated the first 60 minutes. They're up 1-0, and then Flo Balogun, their top striker, their top goal scorer, gets a red card. U.S. goes on to win 2-0, but the big deal with that is now he cannot play on Monday in their next match against Belgium.
I'm not a big soccer guy. I don't hide it, but I also am not won over by it yet. It was fun to watch. It got me patriotic, but there's a lot of that game that is just I'm more of a football 90s NBA guy, so it just doesn't have what I'm looking for, the action.
I tell you what, this country's in on it, though. It's and I think a lot of people look at this team as the best roster, the best squad that the U.S. has ever fielded for a World Cup, and they legitimately have a good shot to beat Belgium on Monday, and then they would be in the quarterfinals for just the second time in history, the other time being in 2002. This team feels like it's got a chance. It's going to be more difficult now without their top goal scorer. What did you think of the decision to kick him out of the game, which again is a minimum one-game suspension?
It's even worse for a guy who doesn't watch it. Because you're like, he stepped on his
accidentally
on his foot.
Like.
Yeah, and as I said, it's like getting kicked out of a game for incidental contact on pass interference at a football game.
Right, yeah. Unfortunate. And there's really no appeals process in place when it comes to the World Cup. So minimum one-game suspension. Hopefully the U.S. can get by Belgium on Monday, and then he'll be available for the quarterfinals. We had Ian McIntyre on our show today. He was watching yesterday. He was watching England come from behind to win that one behind Harry Kane. He was certainly watching the U.S. last night as well, and we let him off with that very idea, just what a day yesterday was for soccer and soccer fans.
Some of us switched a couple of jerseys throughout the day. Just started off in the England jersey, and then by the end was wearing the Stars and Stripes. So a wonderful day, and then you missed the middle game as well. But so if you went 3 games yesterday, it was a long but fun day. And the way it ended with the US progressing and backs against the wall, it was a fun day to be involved in, and just a fun day to be a fan of soccer.
Yeah, that middle game might have been the most dramatic of them all, right? Belgium comes back, scores 2 goals in the span of 3 minutes, and then wins it on a penalty kick at the very end of extra time. Just a lot of drama yesterday. We got to ask you about the red card to Flo Balogun. It's what everybody's talking about right now. Should it have been a red card? Should there be an appeals process? It sounds like, unfortunately, he's just not going to be available on Monday. What's your take on what you saw and what happened and how the referee ruled last night?
And you talk about that middle game as well with Belgium and Senegal. Like, I think VAR had been very quiet, and so the video assistant opportunities, and I think it's been officiated the World Cup really well. But it had an impact at the end of the Senegal-Belgium game, and then, as you said, I think Balogun was very unfortunate to get a red card, and like a lot of these, when you really slow down a play, it can look a lot worse, but there was no intent there. And as a soccer player, you've got to put your feet somewhere when you come down, and unfortunately he's come across the Achilles of the player, and then when you see the foot twist, I was worried when the referee went to the video and video replay. I was worried that he was going to come back with a red card.
And he did, and now Flo Balogun will not be available on Monday. How does this change things for the Americans? Does it change their strategy at all on Monday, knowing that they don't have their top striker? And how do you expect them to adjust?
for a lot of American fans as well, this is one of these kind of, so if you are you're thrown out of a basketball game or a football game, you can come back in the next game. You actually can play the same numbers. So it's kind of double jeopardy in our sport. You play down that last 25 minutes or so of the game, and then that player has to sit out the next game. And Balogun has shown that he is a really, really integral part of this team. He's had a wonderful World Cup, but you saw the emotion on his face, the face of his teammates as well, and it's going to be a big shirt to fill. Pochettino has a couple of different options, but not Balogun's had a wonderful World Cup and has really scored some important goals. But his movement, his athleticism, he's a real handful, and we're going to miss him on Monday night.
Have you ever been in a situation like that, Coach? I would imagine, you've been doing this a long time. I would imagine you've been in a situation where either you lose a player in the middle of a game due to a red card, or one of your better players is suspended for the next game of a really important contest. As a coach, as a team, how do you handle that in the moment? I thought the U.S. did a great job with the adversity last night. They obviously scored an insurance goal and won the game and played well down the stretch, even though they only had 10 guys. How do you handle it in the moment as a coach, and how do you handle it going into that next game as a coach and as a team? Well,
you trained for this, and I thought the US was exceptional. They changed their shape, before the red card, the US were the better team, deserved to be up a goal, probably should have had a second goal. But when you're down a man, it does change the dynamics, and I thought there was one advantage of having one of these hydration breaks. There was an opportunity for the team to reset and come out of that. I thought they did a great job of adjusting, reduced the lines, so the defensive space between, turned it into a 4-4-1, put Pulisic up top, and really worked so hard. But it's not just individually working hard. They worked so well together, from the goalkeeper, the back four, the midfield block. They were terrific. So you work on this. Now for the next game, you're managing the fact that you've got a player that is now concerned that he may have kicked the ball for the last time in the World Cup. Hopefully that's not the case. But it's now, I'm sure Balogun today will be an important part of the team and the dressing room. But it's now an opportunity, and we've got some options. I think Balogun's a very important part of this US team, but we've got some different players that we can plug into that position, that provide different options for Pochettino, and I'm really interested to see what kind of direction he goes. This is a good Belgium team with good players, but I do like this matchup. They just went to overtime, extra time in the game. It is some of their dominant players are getting a little bit older, so I actually like this matchup more than the matchup against Senegal if they would have progressed. But it's going to whoever steps in, if it's Pepe, if it's Haji Wright, if he makes a tweak with Pulisic up front, going to be important. Someone's got to step up and score the goals for this team.
And it does seem like Mauricio Pochettino has pulled all the right strings to this point. And we talk about this particular U.S. squad as being, arguably the most talented, that they've ever had at a World Cup. Are they also the most well coached that we've ever seen at a World Cup? Can you speak to, I guess, the various decisions we've seen from Pochettino, and this team really seems to like playing for him? There seems to be a good vibe around this group right now.
And it's a really tough job when you're a host nation. Like you don't have real competitive games those 2 years prior, so you are kind of tweaking, you are rotating, having players from all across the world. So his teams come together at the right time. I think it was a good decision to rotate the squad for the third game. I know we didn't get the result against Turkey. I think it was important. I think one of the disadvantages of rotating is I'm not sure if too many of those guys answered positively positively. So as he's looking for the ability to bring some of those guys off the bench, I think he loves his starting 11. Now, one of those being Balogun, someone's going to have to step in. I'm not sure exactly. I think, you saw, I think Berhalter has an important part to come off the bench. Gio Reyna, I think, has done okay. But some of those other guys in that Turkey game probably didn't take that opportunity. So that's the only concern I have, is as we go down, is who are those guys that are going to step off the bench to be impactful guys in different moments. He kind of rode those guys, even a man down, that midfield block. He played a lot. But it's I think Pochettino's done a terrific job. He's played and he's coached in big games all across the world, and it's nice when you can look to the sidelines and have that presence, that aura, that confidence. He's seen it all before.
We've touched on England. We've touched on the U.S. We also want to touch on Canada. Taj Buchanan, obviously, as we've talked about with you before, plays a very important role for that team. They've got a big one coming up, out of group play for the first time. They've got Morocco coming up this Saturday. What do you make of that matchup and Canada's chances of advancing?
They've done great. To the ability to progress out of the group stages for the first time ever, to win their first ever knockout match. But this, I hope that this group isn't just happy and content with that. Morocco's a really good team. They've got some, and they were, in the semi-finals 4 years ago. They've got a lot of talent, but this is a good Canadian team. A lot of collegiate influences in this group, and I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a challenge for them. But we've seen a lot of results in this World Cup already, where if you can be organized, disciplined, they won't just sit back. Jesse Marsh's teams really like to kind of press and make life uncomfortable. But this will be their biggest challenge, and should be a fun one on Saturday afternoon.
We were talking yesterday on the show about the growth of the game and the fact that, soccer's gotten to a point now where it's competing with baseball for the third most watched sport in this country. Do you feel like the World Cup being here and, a successful run by the U.S. and even Canada and England, how much will that help just continue to boost the sport of soccer in this country?
You can see it on campus here. My interactions with people around that haven't, that are just enjoying being part of the World Cup and watching it with family members. The game finished last night, and I got Coach Jack texting me, asking me questions like, does he have to sit out the next game? Was it a red card? The same questions. My head of compliance was in my office today saying, hey, can we appeal this? And I'm like, look, if Syracuse compliance can get some kind of appeal across, let's get Balogun back. But it's fun, and we're seeing that. We're seeing the young kids and supporting the teams and different groups, which I've enjoyed. So yeah, it's been fantastic. That energy, you're seeing it now come across all of our different kind of media groups, and from if it's the morning shows to the late night shows, and hopefully we can kind of keep this going for a couple more weeks.
I know you've got a World Cup pool going on, right, up at Syracuse University. Any idea who's looking good right now? Do you happen to know who has France, or who's looking the best in your pool?
Yeah, no, we've got the creative like ACC Network and creative guys have France. We've got Jerry's got Spain, so he's feeling pretty good about that. Brian has Algeria later tonight as well. Men's soccer bowed out very early with Uzbekistan, and our alums got Iran. So we're supporting everyone. But women's soccer got a bit nervy with England yesterday, but they're through. So yeah, we're having some fun with it, and we're talking soccer and enjoying the kind of the competitive banter that comes along with it. And you're right, men's soccer. I'll be taking out the winning staff, the World Cup winners. I'll be taking them out to lunch, and we've got our chefs here who are going to prepare a meal based on the country that wins it. So it should be a little bit of fun.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. We're doing one here as well. Paulie drew Canada. I've got Portugal. Our producer David has Croatia. So Croatia and Portugal about to go against each other. One of us is going to be knocked out. So we're doing it here as well and having a whole lot of fun. I do want to ask you about the college game if we could. I think the last time we had you on, we talked about the possibility of soccer moving to a 2-semester sport. It was voted down. Can you explain to us, I guess, what happened with that? Are you surprised that it got voted down? And do you think that ultimately the sport will go to 2 semesters, just not yet?
Yeah, disappointed and a little bit frustrated. Look, I understand the challenges that many, like we are here at Syracuse, we have challenges with playing an outdoor sport all year round. There's facilities to staffing concerns, but I've been at a number of institutions prior, a few years ago now, but before Syracuse, so I understand the challenges. But I do think it's something that as we look to, and this was for me the perfect time as to kind of piggyback off hosting a World Cup to further grow our sport and to coaches want to coach and compete. Players want to have the ability to be in environments where they can train and grow all year round. So yes, disappointed, but look, I understand that on different campuses we have different challenges, and so I'm hopeful that we will revisit it down the road, and some individuals can remember how special this sport is and this game is to our communities and to us here in the United States.
And maybe your Team Canada's good luck charm. They had never before made it out of group play. You drew them in our World Cup pool here randomly, and Canada's still alive, looking good right now.
Yeah, and speaking of Belgium, I sometimes, when I'm on my phone, it will tell me I'm in Belgium, New York. Have you ever seen that? Apparently, it's what they call the Baldwinsville area.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Idea. So I wonder if they'll be rooting for America out there.
Interesting.
I didn't know that either, but I was like, I'm not in Belgium. There's no waffles around me.
Belgium does have the benefit of playing in Seattle. They just played in Seattle yesterday. This next match against the U.S. will be in Seattle as well on Monday, 8 o'clock start for the right to go on to the World Cup quarterfinals. We also talked some hoops today. We had Sean Belby on our show, Paulie, who is back working with SU men's basketball in a producer videographer role, also the GM of Boeheim's Army once again. And, we're seeing that, there was that whole debate about should Syracuse keep it in the family with the next head coach. Not only did they keep it in the family with Jerry, but he's very much kept it in the family with those he's surrounding himself with.
Yeah, it's loyalty, and I think that's something that Coach Boeheim passed down to all these guys.
No doubt.
Super loyal.
Yeah, and it does seem like there's this young, fresh vibe with this coaching staff. Everybody's got connections to everybody on the staff, it feels like. And, again, good vibes right now around this program. So we led off Sean Belby by asking him how this new role came to be for him and Syracuse basketball.
Kept in touch with Jerry since I left back in 2020. We had a really good relationship when I was here. He was my guards coach, so spent hours upon hours together throughout my 5 years here. Kept in touch when he left Syracuse to go to Siena, and then just kind of after my season ended this year in the G League, just kind of just perfect timing. It was pretty quickly after he had got the Syracuse job that my season ended. We talked a couple times on the phone, and it just happened to work out for the both of us. So super grateful and appreciative for him to offer me the chance to come back and work under him.
So what was it about working under him that was intriguing to you? I mean, you got to see him in terms of what he's like as a coach. He wasn't a head coach, but he was a coach. And now you see him in the head coaching role as well. How have things changed for him? I mean, how has his approach changed, if at all, from when you were working with him several years ago?
Yeah, not much. Like he always had a great voice, great coaching style. back when he was assistant. But now, being in the head coaching seat, it is a little bit different. This is his program now, and he's in charge of really everything that goes on. But I think I said this a couple times to a few different people over the last week, but his ability to command the room and just like get people to listen to what he's saying is really, really special. And it's an underrated skill of coaching that not all coaches have. So for him to have it from day one, to step in, come back to Syracuse, and for guys to be able to listen to him and look him in the eye, and when he talks, people know to shut up and listen. So it's really cool to see.
How about this role that you're taking on? Can you give us an idea of what your responsibilities look like?
Yeah, a lot of video stuff, a lot of things on the computer. So, cutting out practice, bringing ideas to the coaching staff. What other teams are doing, what NBA teams are doing during the game. Probably doing some sort of live coding and or the challenges with the referees. So a little bit of everything.
You mentioned, your ties with Jerry. A lot of Cuse guys on this staff right now. What's it like, coming back to campus? And, Jerry said something to us the other day about he was gone for 2 years, but it felt like he never left. I know you've been gone a little bit longer than that, but do you kind of get the same feeling? So many familiar faces. Does it feel like you never left?
No, it feels like I left for a little bit. Feels a little weird being back, to be honest, but no, it's been a lot of fun. I played with Tyus Battle for all 3 of his years. We've known each other since we were probably like 10, 11 years old. So that's special. He's one of my best friends. We were roommates here together when we were on the team. Ryan Bury, he was a manager when I was here. Really good friendship with him as well. And then obviously Ryan Blackbull, been working with him with TBT and Bayham's Army for the past 6 or 7 years. We have a great relationship. Just all these guys. AO, I've known him for a long time. So Pete Corsiniti, again, he was a G8 when I was here. We go back 10, 15 years, me and Pete. So it's fun that our staff is so close and well connected, and just makes working together a lot easier.
I know this team's been practicing together for a little bit here, a couple weeks. What stands out to you? Can you give us any sort of observations from practice? Who looks good? And what stands out to you, I guess, about this team, about this roster?
Yeah, probably just how dynamic we are. We have a lot of dynamic guards, a lot of dynamic wings. The bigs are doing a really good job as well. So I think it's going to be a really fun season.
In terms of your other role that you've got going on this summer, that's Bayham's Army. I guess let's start with the changes this year. It's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the roster makeup. It's got to be mostly guys who went to Syracuse. The first round is different. There's this best of 3 series that you got to deal with. It's a tournament that the field is smaller than it has been. Do you like the changes that have been made to the TBT?
I do. Yeah, I do. Like you said, a lot of changes. 16 teams instead of 64. That first round is a best of 3 against Seton Hall. I'm not excited that we have to drive down to Jersey for the first game. Would prefer to, stay in Syracuse. But no, I think that there were changes necessary. That it was getting a little bit stale, the 64 single elimination tournament. But I think this is going to be, really exciting. Hopefully, there's going to be a lot of fans at our game here at the Allen Center on the 23rd, and we'll be able to put out a good performance.
In terms of the guys who have committed to play, how did the Wesley Johnson addition come to be? Were you surprised that he was willing to play, wanted to play? I mean, take us through how you landed him on the roster.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised just because he was supposed to be on the team last year, actually. It didn't work out kind of last minute. I was in Vegas last summer for the NBA Summer League when I was working with the Dallas Mavericks, and actually ran into Wes in the casino at around 11:30 midnight one night, and he was like, "Hey, you doing TBT this summer?" And I was like, "Yeah, our first game's in 2 days." He was like, "Can I play?" And we kind of tried to get him on the roster super last minute. He was also playing in the Big 3 at the time, so we were trying to figure that out, and it just didn't end up working out. It was just too soon for him to get to Syracuse, within the next day. Yeah, he wanted to play last summer, but then we kept in touch all throughout this year. He was working with the Pelicans, and it was kind of just perfect timing again this summer.
You got the Boeheim brothers again. You've got Elijah Hughes. Eric Devendorf is coming on in a leadership role, but also going to play a little bit. And we had him on the show. Can you share with us who that last piece to the puzzle is going to be from a Syracuse perspective, or at least tell us the kind of profile of player that you're looking for to add to the roster here?
Yeah, we definitely have one more Syracuse guy coming, maybe two. Just trying to figure it out, but they'll both be really good players, and I'm just excited for the fans. Hopefully, they'll be excited about it.
What does it take to go deep in this tournament, especially with the new format? Because, again, no longer 64 teams. It's down to 16. There is a little bit of margin for error in that first round where, it's not truly one and done. It's that best of three. What's it going to take, Sean, to make a deep run in this thing?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of connectivity. Guys who are willing to be unselfish and not care about their own scoring, their own stats, but it's really about the team. Last year when we lost to D3, I think they out-rebounded us by 10 plus, and they didn't have a guy that was over like 6'6". So it's just, you got to play hard every single possession, every single game. You got to rebound the ball, and on the defensive end, you just got to get stops. And that's what we haven't been doing the past couple of years, and that's what we did do in 2021, which is why we won. So just got to be able to come out, bring energy, toughness, and hopefully rebound the ball, and I think we'll be all right.
Hard to believe that this thing gets started in about 3 weeks. Do you have a timetable in mind in terms of finalizing the roster, in terms of when the guys will be on campus to work together for a few days prior to the first game? Do you have any sort of timetable in place?
Yeah, our roster's set. The roster's done. TBT's waiting a couple more weeks just to get the rest of the guys announced. So we'll have 10 total guys on the roster. So the remainder of those guys will be laid out probably after the holiday weekend, and then not sure when we're going to come up to Syracuse yet. Probably, hopefully, 2-3 days before, and then drive down to Jersey from the Q's.
And then just last question from me. Can you speak to the Cuse basketball community, especially here, and the support they have for this tournament and for your team, for Boeheim's Army? And it seems like, you guys play in this thing year after year and summer after summer, and people keep turning out, and the support, it seems like from the outside looking in, it's been great. Can you speak to, I guess, this fan base and what it's meant to you to have this support every summer? Yeah,
the support, like you said, it's been unreal. Just, having the fans come out and hoping to watch their favorite former Syracuse basketball play again together. It's like, who would have ever thought that Buddy Boeheim and Wesley Johnson would be playing on the same team? They're 15 years apart in age. So I just think that's like a little bit special. And then just like everyone on the team has played for Coach Boeheim before, so everyone's familiar with each other, and the fans know that, and I think it makes it even a little bit more special for us and for the community.
Can you share with us who the coach is going to be, or give us a hint? Anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, he's not a Syracuse guy. Someone that I worked with the Dallas Mavericks, and he's coached in the NBA a long time for some of the best coaches ever. Greg Popovich, Will Hardy, Jason Kidd, Becky Hammond, Chauncey Billups. So he's super experienced. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's one of the best basketball minds I've ever been around. So I'm excited to have him be part of Boeheim's Army this summer.
We tried to get some breaking news out of him, Paulie. He said that everything's set. They've got the roster. They've got the coach. They're going to announce it and make it all public here in due time. We know 5 of the 6 SU players that are on the roster. At least one more needs to be added to make them eligible. He says he knows who it is, and we'll find out soon enough.
Dion Waiters. That's my guess.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got no inside knowledge. He's not
just a guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
National Anisette Day, Steve. Do you like anisette? The licorice, like liquor and cookies and the black licorice flavor? No.
Not my favorite. I would eat it, but it's not my favorite.
I can't see you doing a shot of like anything that tastes like black licorice.
No, thank you.
Or NyQuil. National Wildland Firefighter Day, so anybody that works on wildfires, and National I Forgot Day.
That happens more and more as we get older, Paulie.
Yeah. I'm interested in what National I Forgot. How do you celebrate?
If you forgot.
Pause on life's hectic schedules, acting, Bubba. It's just a reset day.
There you go.
Apologize for anything that slipped your mind and forgive yourself for all your mental slips.
There you go. Have some grace. I like that. With that, we're heading into the weekend. Long weekend for us. Give yourself some grace, Paulie. We're out of time. For Paulie, I'm Steve. Enjoy the 4th. Happy 4th to everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will talk to you again on Monday.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.